Harry Reid, thank you for being here with me. I have a message for you. Are you ready? I'm just checking. It's on. Okay. I have a message for you. Are you ready? So before I get into these cards, because the first reading I give always a little more charged. This one I feel to expand on the previous reading, but I'm gonna say and start with self-forgiveness is extremely key. You will have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made in order to take accountability and move forward. It's extremely key because you have made a lot of mistakes in your unconscious patterns. You have done a lot of harmful things to yourself and others in your unconscious patterns. And it's so important to sit with yourself and forgive yourself because sometimes we do this thing. We'll be like, you know what? This is just who I am. Fuck it. And then we continue the behavior because we feel like we can never really bounce back from the things that we have done. And it's key. That's how you change. You forgive yourself for the things that you didn't know, for the things that you did know and you chose to do, for the for the mistakes, for the self-harm, or the ways that you treat yourself when you don't think you deserve better. Sometimes that's where the plateau is. Like you'll do the work, you'll be like, I'm confident, I'm deserving. And then you run into the wall of remember what you did when you felt like you weren't deserving. And then you got to sit there and forgive yourself, understand and unpack. And there's so much more. Beau- there's so many beautiful things to find in that understanding and ways to move forward. Sometimes we don't move forward because we stay stuck in place. We're not trying to even look at that. Oh, I used to be a bully. Oh, I used to be a pushover. Remember what you did when you, oh, I don't want to hear it. Oh, cringing. You cringing. You don't even want to look at it. But there's so many beautiful things to find in it. As much as it sucks, it ain't fun work. Baby, I come on here, I talk about shadow work. Because shadow work is that. Okay, you become a greater person with shadow work. You do things a lot differently with shadow work. You don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I did do that. Oh no. Oh, I'm cringing. The memory comes, oh, I don't even want to think about it. Remember when you, I had to do it for me? One thing I can talk about it openly, but like when I was in like sixth grade and I was like super religious, okay? I wasn't even really religious. I just had to put on the act of being religious because I was a church kid. But I was already in the process of like, what is this? What am I doing here? What's going on? And I remember I was in an all girls class. This girl came up to me. She came up to us. She was our friend. And she came out and she's like, hey, y'all, I'm gay. And I said, God doesn't really like that, but God doesn't really like that. But, cool with you. Went home on my phone. Do you know what I was watching? Yeah. Because I too was gay, but I couldn't come out. So her coming out, I just automatically projected onto her. And I said, hey, you're going to hell, right? Like, and then I experienced that. Experienced that. That was sixth grade. I had to have been like 11, 12. I was probably 11 or 12. Probably 11. I'm 20. I was 24. No, wait, I'm tripping. I was 25 around the time where it came back around for real. Okay, I was 25 and I was having a series of conversations with people. I'm openly gay now. I was having a series of conversations with people and it kind of brought me back to that moment. I was like, oh my God, like I remember I told this girl when I was in sixth grade that God don't like her, that she gay. And I have all these people telling me I'm going to hell because I'm gay. or something's wrong with me if they don't say health. They'll just say, well, naturally, biologically. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I had to sit there and I was like, damn, I feel shitty. I remember I did that. I remember, like, it comes back around. It's like, damn, I really did do that. I really did make this girl feel bad because I was ashamed of myself and I was threatened by her ability to be out in the open. And then I even felt it and I noticed it with this like how I was perceiving a fat masculine black woman because that was what I had experienced when that's who I was interacting with in middle school, a bigger set masculine black girl. And I have these perceptions in me that I didn't even really know was rooted in all these things. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to really sit with myself. And I was like, damn, this is my mindset, my behavior is not okay. Or not, it wasn't even that. I was like, she scares me. She scares me. She make me nervous. I don't know what it is. She just make me nervous. And I had one as I unpacked me saying that, all of this came out, right? Because why am I saying that? She didn't do anything to me. A masculine, bigger black woman. I'm like, she not my type. She not my type. What's my fucking problem? You get what I'm saying? That wasn't to do anything to do with her. It was everything to do with me. And I had to sit there and evaluate and forgive myself and say, I'm going to show up in the world differently because that wasn't okay. I wasn't intentionally being an asshole, but it was rooted in the same logic I had when I was a little girl. The same logic I had when I was a little girl, and also the same logic that these men have when they tell me I'm too pretty to be gay. It's the same projections I'm giving this woman that I don't find attractive. So I come here to say that's like I do the work. Listen, I have my moments, but I like to understand deeper why I believe and think the way that I believe and think because it's rooted in some fucking nasty shit. And we usually stop ourselves. We be like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. We try not to think about how we can be assholes. We don't want to think about the things we have projected on us that makes us project on other people. So, yeah, that's where I start. Yeah, I give you my tea. You can't judge me for it because I've already done the work on it. I come and I choose to continue to do the work. And yeah, yeah. I feel like pulling the witch deck. Let's get on into it, y'all. That's how we started off. Now, I know you probably reflected on some moments you probably had where you catch yourself, but you don't go too deep in it. Or you know that there's something to evaluate, but you be like, maybe later. Maybe later I'll forgive myself. Maybe later I'll do the work about this. Maybe later, like the same thing, like, okay, like you hit your partner and you find a way to excuse it. It's hard to address it because you know it's wrong. Damn, my talking now. Now I feel like I'm talking. You, I feel like, damn, it's getting deep, y'all. But I'm gonna say it. Like you hit your partner and You find some way to justify it, or C of the invisible C of the invisible ally. That's the card that came out. I'm gonna leave it at one card. But like you hit your partner and you try to find some way to justify it because you don't really want to sit with, whoa, I have anger issues. Me hitting my partner was a fucking terrible thing. Like you might say, oh, that was terrible, but you don't address the behavior that's gonna make you want to do it again. Because why do you feel it's okay to hit somebody? Why do you feel it's okay to put your hands on somebody? Maybe because you've experienced someone putting their hands on you as a child, or you watched your parents physically fight, or one parent abuse a parent. You get what I'm saying? Like some things you find okay, or even you might have said, okay, I'm not going to be that person who hits my partner, but you yell at your partner and you berate your partner. It's the same behavior. You get what I'm saying? Like, why do you feel that's okay? And then there's work to do. Because you could say, oh, that's just normal. That's just how things are. But you don't feel good when you're done. And your partner doesn't feel good when you're done. But it's just something that was normalized. So you don't feel the need to even go deeper despite you having that feeling of shame after you do it, to enough to say, wow, I'm sorry. But you do it again. But you do it again. But you hit your partner again. You yell at your partner again. You give your partner the silent treatment again. What, like, why? And that why takes you on a journey. And you have to acknowledge, oh shit, I've made a mistake. I'm really bad for doing that. Why do you cheat on your partner? And it seems normal. Like you find ways to justify. You find people who agree with your cheating, enable your cheating, enable your lying, enable your hitting, enable your yelling, all of that, so that you don't have to address that feeling you get, that icky feeling once you do it. Like after you do something that you know, like, whoa, there's usually a moment where you feel it. I don't know, maybe everybody don't feel it. I know for me personally, I feel it. Like I'm like, why did I say that? Why am I saying that? Why am I thinking that? Whoa, let's really back in. What are our values? Okay, so if these are our values, if we're body positive, like going back to my example, if we're body positive, if we're pro black woman, if we're feminist, then why did we look at a bigger masculine woman and clearly say we're unattracted and also say, I don't know, she scared me? Why? So why did you hit your partner? Why did you yell at your partner? And then you have to go through all the experiences of you doing that to truly change. Like to change, you have to address the it, the cringe. You do. So she of the invisible ally. Okay? She of the invisible ally. There are unseen forces guiding you right now. They rarely let themselves be seen, but that doesn't mean they're not there. While it's true that you often name and number your resources, you often forget about the unseen ones. The invisibles are available to you always, but they tend to dwell in the higher places. Energies of wonder and awe, curiosity and hope. Petition them, a witch will reach into those energies and swim with them through the cosmos. This is a good time for dreaming and journeying. Take a walk in nature. Seek out a credible plant shaman who can help you access the gifts of the green world. Spend some time in the liminal realm with active imagination in the tradition of archetypal philosophy, psychology as initiated by Carl Jung. We just, in the other deck, in the previous reading, we had read a quote by Carl Jung. So, put yourself in the way of magic. Helpful spirits are ready to guide you, and now is the time to summon them to show themselves. Baby, guidance is in that question, in them questions, and asking yourself them questions. Because look, sometimes we're starting from the lowest of the lows, the stupidest of situations that we've gotten ourselves in. I've been houseless, y'all, because of my dumbass decisions. I had to sit there and be like, damn, I made a bad decision, yo. How do I get myself out of this? What did I do? Why am I doing this? What are the choices that I'm making? Why am I making these choices? And how do I make different choices? And then you let the guidance happen. And it's not going to be a fun journey. You will cry. You will sit there and you will unpack. Okay. You will unpack. You will feel terrible. You will not feel good. And that's why self forgiveness is key. And that's why, again, I will keep recommending this. If you need some extra help, you find some extra help because what you want to avoid is the shame spiral. Because the shame spiral, the blame spiral, the guilt spiral does not help you feel accountable. You're not accountable when you're shaming yourself, when you're blaming yourself, and when you're being guilty. No, accountability is true work, honesty, sitting there. I could be a fucking terrible person. That's why, again, in general, I have separated myself from being perceived or wanting to be perceived as a good person. I am a human and I do human shit. And I learn from my human fucking shit because there's things that have been unconscious to me that I have done. And if I feel like I'm not living up to some type of expectation, it's harder for me to work myself where I want to be, who I want to be, and how I want to show up in the world with love. Because fear is at the root of why we do not show up as we want to. You know what I'm saying? Like you fear something that keeps you from loving something, from understanding something, or just leaving something be. Being judgmental. Mind your business. Self discipline needed. This is the second time I think this card come up. Did No, it didn't come up in the past reading. Get it together. Get it together. You in safe company. No competition. Foaming at the mouth. Don't tolerate mixed signals. Time for redirection. I also feel like I don't know, person who will be honest about my shit and like the honest shit can't be used against me. Like I'm who I am. I've done what I've done. I do what I do. If I feel shame, it's about me. And it's something I gotta work on. Cycle closing out. Feeling shame does not mean I gave someone power to fix it because no one can. So no one can fix the way you're feeling. Entitled as fuck to you. They're gaslighting you. Focus on self. No one can fix the way that you're feeling. Okay, now we starting to get into something. There's no one who can fix the way you're feeling. And you're allowed to feel what you feel. Like feel like there's just different ways to go about things and to understand things and to know why you're feeling or thinking the way that you feel or think and to show respect. Confusing as fuck. Like, okay, I ain't trying to justify, I will not justify cheating. But maybe you cheat because you're non monogamous and you just don't know how to explore that you're non monogamous. Maybe you cheat because you want to make someone feel bad. Why do you want to make someone feel bad? Maybe you cheat because maybe you yell because you feel like you're not heard otherwise. Like it's work to do. It's work to do. And you make the mistakes and you bounce back from it. It's work to do. Maybe you don't want to sit with the wholeness of what this person is feeling for real. Like maybe once your energy, maybe you don't want to be alone. And and you have a partner who pushes you to that. You have a partner who pushes you to yell. And that's a slippery slope. But I'll say that from experience, like I don't yell at people, but I yelled at someone. And I knew I was not supposed to be there once I did. Because when I get there, if I've gotten to that point, this is not somewhere I need to be because I don't like how I feel after I yell, right? So maybe maybe you're just not supposed to be where you're at or in the connection you're in. Like maybe you need some time alone. Maybe, and it's not just about connection, but okay, you work this job that's stressing you out. Now you come home and you fucking bitching at your kids, like not understanding the long term implications of doing that. Simply, and of course, there's mad. I will emphasize in each of these readings, there's mad work to do to get to where you want to be, but you have to decide that you want to be there and then listen and trust yourself. Like the root of it is that you have a shitty job and you don't want to work that shitty job. The root of it is, and you got to forgive yourself for the things that you do unconsciously. You got to forgive yourself for the ways that you make others feel or the ways that you feel, even the ways that you think sometimes. What your shit is rooted in. Like, even like, okay, like a lot of times too, like when you're acting out on behaviors that you picked up in childhood, sometimes it's because in childhood you blamed yourself for things that you're witnessing or experiencing. And I'm not a professional. Go talk to a professional. I'm just saying, here's what I pick up, here's what I think. But you blame yourself for watching your parent hit somebody or be hit. You blamed yourself. You blamed your parent. You might have blamed the innocent party. You might have experienced that person who is getting hit on you. You know what I'm saying? You just found shit to be normal and you took it on. You took it on, you took it on, you took it on. Or you took on different behaviors and you reacted to it in ways that make you feel safe, but you're put in positions where now you have to question that behavior. Maybe it's worked for this many years to be someone who yells and hits and is violent sometimes. Maybe you have been put in positions where you have had to fight, but maybe now you're in a whole different space, in a whole different type of connection, just experiencing something completely not what you're used to. And instead of meeting the challenge, you are avoiding accountability because you don't want to feel ashamed for the things you've done in other situations where it might have been okay or that's what y'all did. Like maybe you have, and I'm not, I'm using this example and it's dark. I know it's dark, but maybe you've hit this person who don't isn't used to being hit when you used to tussle with your partner. Like you used to tussle with one of your partners, and now you have a partner that doesn't want to tussle, that doesn't even think that's normal, and you're sitting there. Like you when you're not used to that, and it makes you feel bad. It's like sometimes we don't even want to address that because we'll have to go backwards and like be like, whoa, that actually wasn't okay. I thought it was okay, but you have to sit there and give yourself the grace. Give yourself the grace You got to give yourself the grace. You do. It's not okay. Give yourself the grace. There's things that you think that are okay and may not have been okay, and that's okay. It's okay. You live and you learn. You live, you experience, and you understand. More to story. Very immature. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay. Ten of Wands. I think I'm talking about something very specific. I'm again, I'm taking a different approach of just focusing this on you, but I feel like I pick up on energy inside of you, and maybe you've experienced something and you want to understand it, but I'm telling you, here to tell you that the only work that you have is your own work. You cannot do the work for somebody else. So I had said earlier, nobody can, nobody can, nobody can save you from the work that you have to do. I had dropped my mic, but you know what? We continue because that I dropped the top of the mic. But being judgmental, get it together, focus on self. So maybe you want to give somebody a lot more grace than necessary, and that's also a behavior in itself that applies. You need to understand, why do you do that? Why do you sit there and try to explain away the ways people hurt you? And that's, you can't blame nobody else for that. You just have to sit there and understand, why do you let someone yell at you? Why do you let someone cheat on you? Why do you let somebody treat you poorly? Why do you let somebody, why do you? And you have to forgive yourself for the times that you've done it before. Mind your business. You in safe company, confusing as fuck, self-discipline needed, no competition. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Being judgmental, get it together, focus on self. Mind your business, you in safe company. Confusing as fuck, self discipline, no competition. Being judgmental, get it together, focus on self. I want to say, stop, stop feeling so guilty about something. Like maybe you want to leave something and it's hard for you to do so without feeling like you're leaving something behind. Um, being judgmental, get it together, focus on self. You need to focus on yourself, mind your business. No, you're in safe company. You might be safer doing your own thing. Confusing as fuck. There's a situation that leaves you feeling very confused, no competition, self discipline needed. Maybe you compare yourself a lot to something. Maybe you have to look at the ways you compete or don't compete, or hmm, 10 of Pentacles. That's a windfall. Like, there's a foundation you need to focus on. Being judgmental. The hard work leads to more solid foundations. As I said, look, I've experienced some dumb shit. I've made some dumb choices, dumb decisions, y'all. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And I'm not saying that as in like berating myself, just knowing it is what it is. And when you decide it is what it is, you move accordingly. You say, "Oh, that was a dumb decision. That's okay. You can make mistakes. It's okay. You can bounce back. Shit, you can bounce back. You'll bounce back. Whatever it is that you got to do, you will bounce back. But if you know it's a good decision, you will be okay. You will be okay. You'll be okay. You just need some discipline. You got smack on the ass, smack upside the head. You need some discipline. Okay? You need some discipline. You got to focus on your own. Maybe it's so easy when you have work to do to look outside yourself and focus on the work others are doing, but nobody can do the work for you and you can't do work for nobody else. It's easy to project. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say, "Oh, why did they get this when I'm this?" You know what I'm saying? It's easy to do shit like that. It is. And it's normal. Look, even when I say asshole shit, as much as I'll sit there and reflect on it, we be assholes. Doesn't mean that we gotta keep being assholes and doesn't mean we gotta tolerate asshole shit either. Sometimes sometimes it's easy to be like, I was an asshole before, so I understand why this person's yelling in my face. No, someone has to stop it. And you want to stop it because you don't like that. You don't have to justify the behavior. You don't have to justify why the fuck something's going on, how it's going on. You don't have to justify shit. Because we have the right to be assholes too. Like we all make choices, right? The only thing we can do is make choices for ourselves, and we got to forgive ourselves for the choices we made previously. But that doesn't mean just because I'm talking to you and talking about that doesn't mean somebody is going to understand and do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? There will be people who will continue hitting their partners. But if you're someone who's willing to change, you can. And that means you take accountability and you accept the consequences of that action. Okay? You accept the consequences because just because you've decided you're going to change doesn't mean that the people around you will. Doesn't mean that the people you've hurt will accept you. Doesn't mean they're going to see you any different. It doesn't mean nothing. It just means you chose that for yourself. You don't do this for other people. The work you're doing, you do because it's something that's resonating with you. And then it helps other people. So you can be a better ally. You could be a better support. You can be better. You can appreciate yourself and others better and the freedom that they have to choose. And sometimes the choices they make will also be fucking dumb. But just because you know how to bounce back from a dumbass decision doesn't mean everyone will. So take that into account. You're focusing on yourself. This is not to say that person that's a toxic partner to you or a toxic friend or a toxic family member to you is going to do the same work. It's about you. It's all about you through the storm and the rain. Whatever it takes to see you. Cause it's all about you. Like you think because you're changing, other people's gonna change. There is no competition, there is no comparison. So let's go on. Let's get like I feel like I have to disclaim that because I ain't excusing no behavior here. I'm talking to you and whatever you've done and whatever work you're willing to do to move forward from it. Not the people around you. Just because you can doesn't mean other people want to. Everyone's making conscious choices. Everyone's making choices, whether unconscious or conscious. Everyone makes a choice, and what choices you make doesn't mean it's going to have a trickle down effect. I feel like some of us have been taught that, especially when it comes to like family. Like you feel like if you start healing yourself, then the rest of your family heals. I'm telling you, no. People make changes when they want to, and you do what's best for you and you observe. Foaming at the mouth. New idea form seed planted. Don't tolerate mixed signals. Once your energy, time for redirection. Foaming at the mouth. New idea formed. Seed planted. Don't tolerate mixed signals. Once your energy, time for redirection. Page of Pentacles. You plant seeds. You do plant seeds in the things that you choose to do. Like if someone isn't used to being walked away from when they beat, I'm about to say something. I'm gonna say it because I understand how I understand how intense the situations is, but I do say things like a certain way. So when someone beats your ass, okay, when someone beats your ass and you walk away, maybe they've never experienced that, and maybe that makes them reflect. But that's not your job. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't do things with the intention of fixing somebody else. Just know your boundaries and move accordingly. But you will plant seeds. You will plant seeds. Maybe they'll change, maybe they won't, and that's it. When you walk away from that toxic family, maybe they have to think about things differently. Maybe they do, but that's not the goal. That's not the goal. The goal is your peace of mind and you living a more authentic life. It's you choosing to learn. But sometimes, yeah, other people do take on what, and maybe not even that. Like maybe you have friends who see the things that you're not willing to tolerate and see the way that you talk and the way that you think and the ways that you take accountability, and it inspires people. Like people decide to do what they want to do, and that's why it's important for you to be you. And for you to be you and you to make changes, you do have to do the work. You do have to sit there and go through the hard work of, damn, I used to be an asshole. Or damn, I say asshole shit sometimes. Or damn. And it's not to beat yourself up. You're human. Being human is fun. It encompasses everything. Sometimes you want to do some asshole shit. It's about what's best for you. Okay? Some people really do take pride and pleasure in being the worst. There's people who love being toxic. And you choose what you do with that information. Okay. Don't tolerate mixed signals once your energy time for redirection. Once your energy time for redirection. Yeah, it's okay. Like think of it like there's an anime that I watched growing up called Golden Boy where he come in, he's a pervert. He's like literally a pervert. Like lick toilet seats pervert. So he a pervert, right? But he also has like a good side and he will save the day. And while he's a horny bastard, everyone's just like, ew, you weird pervert ass bitch, right? They're like, ew, you weird pervert ass bitch. Like, get the fuck out. Like, go, get on. But he'll save the day and then he'll go on. He'll get out. He'll go do him, right? And then where was I even going? It's not, it doesn't really apply, but it do like he's literally like no one's like happy with his behavior for real. I don't know why is that anime's kind of no one's happy with his behavior. But when he saves the day and he goes about his business, like people look at things in a different lens, right? And I use Golden Boy, all right? Like people look at him in a different lens when he's not just a pervert. He's a hero. He's a pervert and a hero, you know? So and he has boundaries. Like he knows right from wrong. He knows not to do something that fully crosses the fucking line, but y'all, I ain't not gonna lie. When I don't come back and tell me this is so inappropriate, uh, this is the example that came to mind. Um, but yeah, like the multi-dimensional this, like they learn from him and his weird ass fucking he odd, but he's also good hearted, you know? And he also does really respect women despite him being a fucking perv. Like so yeah. It's time for redirection. And then he goes off onto the next mission. He goes off to the next mission. Like he goes literally goes on to the next mission. So think of it like that. Like you do something, you yeah. Now you gotta go on to the next mission. Yeah, you put the foot down and you say, "Yeah, tolerate this. Go on about my business." And there's people who literally their job though, like, okay, let's say someone's been actually feels irresponsible to say. Let's say it like this: there's people who are it is their job to give whoever the fuck hell. It's their job to give whoever that toxic fucking person is hell. But you want to stay authentic to you and how you feel like you want to go about things. But there's people who are going to give energy and give hell, and they do it for the fun. It's not even giving energy. But for you, if it feels like going giving more energy than you need to, you go about your business. But there's people who will give that energy. There's people who will, oh yeah, oh you cheat on me. Encountering those people is fun because like I wouldn't, but they'd be like, oh you cheat on me, I'm about to do you super in. It's irresponsible. Not what I encourage. Not what I encourage. But there are people who are there to give those people hell. And it doesn't feel like they're wasting their energy. So you do what feels best for you. Sometimes you are an asshole and a hero. It depends on the situation. But I ain't gonna encourage you to do asshole shit. I want you to take the high road. And the high road is choosing you, focusing on you. But there's sometimes people along the way, they be like, huh, you know what's fun? What's fun? And that I don't encourage. And I'm not saying that as in be violent. I don't think it's okay to be hitting nobody. I don't think it's okay to be cheating back. I don't think it's okay to be yelling back. But there's people who will give people hell. So it's not your job to do that. It's not your job to teach nobody a lesson. It's in what you want to do. Don't give yourself mixed signals. What do you want to do? Are you? How do you show up in the world? Cycle closing out more the story. Entitled as fuck to you, very immature. They're gaslighting you. 10 of Wands. Cycle closing out more the story. Entitled as fuck to you, very immature. They're gaslighting you. Be true to you and what you want. More to story. There's more to the story. Cycle closing out. Entitled as fuck to you. There's more. You know what? What I want to say with more to the story. You want to stick around and see how worse it can get. Do you want to stick around and see how bad it's gonna get? Do you want to do that? That's how I feel. That's what I'm gonna say. Like it is not your obligation. There's a lot of things that's not your obligation. You want to stick around and put more energy and effort into whatever the fuck you want to put some energy and effort into, or do you want to actually sit there and like look at yourself? Because your behavior has some unconscious pattern to it. You do. Like maybe you're feeling encouraged to be the asshole, but your behavior has some type of unconscious pattern behind it. And again, it's human to do asshole shit sometimes. How far do you want to take it is about where you've been and where you want to be. Why would you want to take it far when you could sit down and actually go inside yourself and say, you know what, there's things that I do because I think certain things are okay, or because I'm playing something out and I don't actually want to leave this situation alone because I feel like I deserve it at the end of the day. Do you deserve it or not? Don't be giving yourself mixed signals. Don't give yourself mixed signals. What do you deserve? What do you want? And how do you do the work to get there? You want to be immature too. You're experiencing something immature. You want to be immature too. And why do you want to do that? Why do you feel like you have to do that when you can just move accordingly and raise yourself to the level that you want to be at and be the example? You want to be the you want to be the villain when you can be the example. And that's where I encourage you to be the example. It's easy to be the villain back. And again, there's people who are designated to do that shit. But if you hear you ain't trying to do that shit. But there's people, oh, bet believe that toxic abusive person, they are drawn to certain energies, but there will be a day where they meet their match. There will be a day where they meet their match. And maybe you are their match. But the match is you're gonna do something they never experienced, which is you the fuck on without even giving them the shit back. I feel like I'm talking about a person, but again, no one's gonna save you from yourself, and you can't save nobody from shit. You gotta let people have the choices they have. You say what you gotta say. You get the fuck on. Like you're trying to waste energy, and it's not. That's not fruitful for you. Now, if you know what can also be the asshole move, not being empathetic. Don't you don't have to sit there and understand where someone's coming from when they've hurt you. You don't have to sit there and understand where somebody's coming from where they when they inflict harm. You don't have to sit there and do that. You don't. If you feel like an asshole, then be that. The fuck? Everyone do what they want to do. And you sit there thinking you have to understand why you want to understand why your brother keep yelling at you every fucking day, though you don't like that he yells at you every day. And when you're a child, it seems like it's okay. But the more older you get, and you're like, bro, you're an ass man yelling in my fucking face. What the fuck? You could go. You could leave him. You could actually, when you're grown, you can actually just stop talking to your fucking brother. Why is my brother yelling in my fucking face? You can literally just stop talking to him. But you over there like, and you're like, this, I'm just so sick and tired of this crying. Oh my God, he's always yelling in my face. And I'm so tired of him and I'm tired of this. Maybe you could literally cut him off. You don't like him. You actually don't like your brother. You love him. You don't like him. And he yells in your face every fucking day. You want to match energy. You want to be taken back to your childhood when you could just bye. Like the fuck? And you think you're going to be an asshole for saying goodbye to your fucking brother, but he yells in your face every day. Are you an asshole or are you protecting yourself? He feels like he yell in your face every day because he's your brother. He's entitled to yell in your fucking face, and you be okay with that because he's used to doing that because he had to do. He was able to do that as a child. That's just how you grew up thinking shit should be. Now you're older and you're like, bro, I have children. I have children of my own, and you're yelling in my fucking face. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? You could keep giving your energy, or you could just do something else. You taking on a burden of being the person that his punching bag when you could just you got problems beyond me, and I think you need to work on it. I could sit there and say, maybe you're like this because dad used to yell in your face, and maybe you're like this because mom used to yell in your face, and I get it. And he's over here like, you fucking bitch, you fucking bitch, you think you know shit, you know, and you're just like, bitch, and then you're yelling at me every day. If you don't go on you living in your own crib with your kids and you're just like, please, I don't understand why you yelling at me. Let me yell at you. Do you like how that feels? And he's just like, I'm belligerent and shit, always belligerent. That's what this reading is about. Like, well, you can only focus on you and forgive yourself. Now, if you sit down, you're like, damn, I've let my brother yell in my face for 10 years past childhood. And you gotta sit there and understand why do I let my brother yell in my face 10 years past childhood? That's the work that we avoid by continuing our cycles. So, Fairy Reese, thank you for being here with me. Please come back.